The moment BlackRock enters the XRP arena with a US spot XRP ETF, the global financial landscape doesn't just shift, it undergoes a total metamorphosis. You see, when the world's largest asset manager moves, they don't just follow trends, they validate entire economic ecosystems. They're not here to gamble, they're here to crown the winners. And XRP? It's no longer just a speculative digital asset. With BlackRock eyeing the throne, it has transformed into an indispensable pillar of institutional finance. This is no ordinary move. This is the validation that XRP has been waiting for. Now let's break this down and see just how massive the potential for XRP really is. We're talking about BlackRock here, the giant with $10 trillion in assets under management, AUM. This number isn't just huge, it's a real sign of BlackRock's influence on global financial markets. When this institution makes a move, it's not just about participating, it's about shaping the entire market. Now, BlackRock investing in XRP would be a game changer. Even if only a small portion of institutional capital moves into XRP, this shift would create a liquidity vortex unlike anything we've seen in the crypto world. There's a real potential for a massive price surge, a vertical candle in the market, creating demand like never before. Are we ready for this? Let's look deeper into the data and track the trajectory that could bring BlackRock's spot XRP ETF to life. It's not just about BlackRock anymore. XRP's institutional appeal is growing rapidly, as shown by the staggering $114 billion in XRP ETP, exchange-traded products, inflows within just 2 months. But that's not all. These aren't just speculative investors. These are institutions, major players in the financial game. What's happening now is a process of de-risking. These early institutional pilots are laying the groundwork for BlackRock's eventual entry. They're not just testing the waters, they're building a solid foundation of trust, infrastructure, and legal clarity that will make BlackRock's move smooth and inevitable. The market is clearly shifting away from retail-driven speculation to institutional investment, and it's only a matter of time before BlackRock steps in to dominate. BlackRock is strategic. They don't rush into markets. They wait for the perfect moment. According to industry experts like Stephen McClure, that window is likely to open between late 2026 and early 2027. Why? It's not just about market conditions. It's about timing. This timing isn't about doubts. It's about the legal and regulatory framework coming into place. As we enter 2026, the fog of uncertainty that once shrouded the U.S. market is lifting. XRP is now armed with a regulatory air cover, thanks to the SEC settlement in 2025. The market is becoming technically mature, and that's the green light BlackRock is waiting for. McClure's prediction is based on a pattern, an 18 to 24-month observation period that BlackRock typically follows before entering a market after a competitor has launched a successful pilot product. In XRP's case, rivals like Bitwise and Franklin Templeton have already paved the way, proving the infrastructure is ready for BlackRock's massive entry. Let's talk about liquidity. This isn't just about having XRP on a few exchanges anymore. XRP's liquidity is growing at a rate that even Bitcoin would envy. BlackRock isn't looking for a short-term pump. It's looking for deep liquidity and minimal volatility to ensure their massive investments don't move the market erratically. In late 2025, XRP ETFs saw explosive growth, with assets under management reaching an impressive $1 billion faster than any other digital asset, except Bitcoin. The key here is that this growth is not fleeting. It's sustained, consistent, and shows that XRP is becoming a cornerstone of the institutional investment landscape. And here's the kicker. Despite market volatility, XRP has shown a level of institutional stickiness that even Ethereum has struggled to maintain. For 43 consecutive days, XRP saw positive inflows, with zero outflows during a major market dip in December 2025. That's not just luck, that's a sign of real, long-term institutional confidence. XRP's infrastructure is evolving faster than ever, and it's becoming clear that it's not just a digital asset anymore. It's a global financial tool. Let's break it down. The market maturity metrics are off the charts, and for the first time in XRP's history, we're seeing deep institutional-grade liquidity, robust custody solutions, and regulatory clarity. These are the ingredients that top-tier asset managers demand before they make a move, and BlackRock is no exception. In early 2026, XRP's average daily trading volume reached a consistent $3.1 billion across regulated exchanges. This wasn't just a temporary surge, it's a sustained trend, meeting BlackRock's internal liquidity thresholds for a highly liquid market. This is the level of sophistication that no other digital asset besides Bitcoin and Ethereum has been able to achieve. But it's not just about trading volume. XRP's migration into regulated custody is equally critical. As of late 2025, XRP exchange balances dropped by nearly 50%, signaling that a significant portion of the supply is moving into secure, regulated environments. This transition is a necessary step for XRP to enter the institutional mainstream, and it marks a clear departure from its retail-driven roots. We've seen similar shifts in other asset classes, where regulatory clarity and secure custody solutions were the key to unlocking massive institutional capital. XRP is now on the same path. It's no longer a speculative bet. It's a fully fledged institutional-grade asset with the infrastructure to support trillions in capital. The real revolution, however, is happening in the plumbing of the financial system. XRP is no longer just a payment rail, it's becoming the backbone of global finance. This transformation is underscored by Ripple's landmark partnership with DXC Technology in January 2026. By integrating Ripple's blockchain directly into the Hogan Core banking system, a software that manages over $5 trillion in global deposits, Ripple is positioning XRP as the go-to tool for settlement and treasury management in traditional banking. What does this mean for XRP's future? It means that XRP is on the verge of being adopted at the institutional level by banks and financial giants around the world, without having to replace their existing IT infrastructure. Ripple's solution is seamless, offering real-time 3-second settlement cycles instead of the multi-day delays seen with legacy systems like Swift. This isn't just a payment solution, it's total treasury control. Ripple's treasury platform, launched in January 2026, is designed to enable Fortune 500 companies to settle cross-border transactions using the RLUSD stablecoin, which is backed by the XRP ledger. The efficiency this provides is unmatched, turning XRP into a utility for the largest players in the global financial system. Now, BlackRock doesn't just invest in assets, they invest in infrastructure, and XRP's infrastructure is poised to handle trillions of dollars in institutional capital. The stage is set for BlackRock to come in and own a stake in this global financial evolution. They're not waiting for a price pump. They're waiting for the technology to mature, and it's happening right before our eyes. One of the biggest hurdles for XRP was the regulatory uncertainty, but as of 2025, that cloud of uncertainty has dissipated. The SEC's settlement has paved the way for XRP to finally operate under a clear regulatory framework. This clarity is crucial for institutional investors. BlackRock, as the world's largest asset manager, demands certainty before committing billions in capital. The SEC's settlement and Ripple's successful resolution of its legal battles have provided exactly that. With the legal war behind them, XRP is now considered one of the few assets that has successfully navigated the regulatory maze, making it a prime candidate for a massive institutional inflow. But regulatory clarity isn't just about removing doubt, it's about providing the stability that BlackRock needs to make an informed decision. And as of January 2026, the legal landscape surrounding XRP is clearer than ever. This is the moment BlackRock has been waiting for, the convergence of technical maturity, regulatory certainty, and institutional readiness. Let's talk about what's next. With XRP's infrastructure now in place and the regulatory fog lifting, the next big catalyst is the supply shock. And it's coming. The monthly XRP escrow releases, which have been part of the token's predictable supply model, are about to face a major demand shift. As institutional interest grows, the supply of XRP on exchanges is shrinking, with a staggering 45% reduction in exchange balances over the past year. This creates the perfect storm for price discovery. Here's where things get interesting. XRP's price is no longer tied to speculative sentiment alone. With institutional investors quietly filling their bags, the real value of XRP is in its utility, its infrastructure, and the trillions in capital it can handle. As BlackRock prepares for its move, it's clear that the institutional narrative will soon dominate. And with this shift comes the inevitable supply-demand imbalance that could set XRP's price on an upward trajectory that no one expected. But here's the burning question. Are we already witnessing the start of XRP's next leg up, or is BlackRock simply waiting for the perfect moment to make its move? Let me know your theories in the comments below. XRP's journey from speculative digital asset to global financial powerhouse is happening right before our eyes. BlackRock's potential entry into the market with a US spot XRP ETF isn't just a sign of confidence. It's a signal that XRP is here to stay as a cornerstone of institutional finance. The legal clarity, regulatory air cover, and infrastructure are all in place. The question is no longer about whether BlackRock will file for an ETF, it's about when they'll do it. As XRP continues to mature and gain institutional trust, the real revolution is happening in the invisible layer. XRP is becoming the backbone of a new financial system, one that moves money faster, more efficiently, and more securely than anything we've seen before. As we enter 2026, the landscape is unrecognizable from the legal uncertainty of years past. The smart money is already positioning itself, and the wall of institutional capital is beginning to move. XRP is ready for its moment. The only question left is, are you positioned to take advantage of it when the God candle of institutional validation arrives? If you want to stay ahead of these institutional moves, be sure to check out the free Discord link in the description for real-time whale alerts. And if you want to learn about risk management strategies and how I personally stay ahead of market shifts, don't forget to check the pinned comment below. Thanks for watching. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here.